You're listening to the ESO Network, your station for all things geek.
Hello and welcome to episode 164 of the Soul Forge podcast.
Welcome to the Soul Forge, a place of silent mystery, quiet contemplation, and outright mayhem. Join your host, Shawn as he guides you through the adventures of living. Together, we'll talk about life and love, sex and dating, joy and heartache, memories and loss, and so much more. Don't worry, it's not nearly as pretentious as it sounds. Get ready for life, the universe, and everything on the Soul Forge.
Hey everybody, it's Shawn back at you. We're now into the 4th year of the podcast. We had our 3-year anniversary last week. I'd like to thank everybody who took the time out to send me an email or an MP3 to congratulate me on the milestone. Oh, look, wait, nobody did. So thanks for nothing. Are you laughing?
Yeah, I'm laughing.
Is that funny?
It's funny. Congratulations.
Thanks. I try to make it humorous whenever I can.
Yeah, well, humor is the key.
It is. It's the key. It's the, yeah, I don't know. It's something. It's something good.
It is something good.
Yes. Who are you?
Ha! Who am I? I'm your brother Robin.
Oh yes, you are my brother Robin. How's it going, brother?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing all right.
Good.
So we're now into August.
We are August. How about that?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of disasters the rest of 2020 has for us.
Well, it's unpredictable. Who knows?
It could be anything.
It could be anything.
Spin the wheel.
Spin the wheel. And, yeah.
So we're here to talk about life coaching.
Life coaching.
Yes. A few weeks ago, maybe a month ago, you came to me with this grand idea and said, brother, I think I want to be a life coach.
That's what I had. That's exactly the conversation that happened.
Pretty much almost word for word.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, and I said, you want to do what now? And what did you say?
I said, I am going to sign up for a course to become a certified life coach, to become an agent of change, and help others.
And I looked at you like you had 3 heads.
Which is normal for me because no matter where I go, people stare at me like I got 3 heads. I'm just going to attribute it to me being so damn good looking.
That's probably what it is,
That's probably what it is.
And since we share a lot of the same genes, the ladies just can't resist.
They cannot.
Our amazing and stunning good looks.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
We're a couple of handsome devils.
Yes, there you go. Not to toot our own horns, but...
Hey, I'm at least a 4 in Walmart.
There you go. All right. So I looked at you like you were crazy.
Yep.
We talked to other brother, Curtis.
We did.
He tried to discourage you.
Of course.
I tried to discourage you.
Yeah, you did. Everybody tried to discourage me. Now, here's the thing about this, is any idea that I have
Is always wrong?
is always wrong. Any idea that I come up with is immediately shot down.
Yes.
And I don't know what that is. Okay, granted, and if you followed along the Soul Forge podcast in the last year and a half, you would be well aware of the fact that some of my ideas have been disasters. I can be the first to admit it.
So every decision you've ever made has been the wrong one?
No.
Oh, no.
Not every decision.
Not everyone.
Not every decision.
Okay. Well,
there's been some crucial ones that were obviously...
Real stinkers?
Real stinkers, which led me to why I'm here, but I'll be gone soon, so
yes,
things are turning around.
You're moving back home to the zoo.
I am moving back home to the zoo.
Okay. So anyway, long story short, brother and I discouraged you from taking this course, mostly because of the cost of the thing.
Yeah, it was costly, but once again, I reiterate on this. People, brother and friends and everyone else, go back to school. Go back to school. Go get an education. Go do something with your life.
Yeah.
Okay, but go back to school for what?
That's the question.
That's the question. You can't just say, I'm going to go sign up for this course to learn how to masturbate better. That's not a thing.
No, actually, that's an episode of the podcast.
Yes, it is.
We did last year.
Yeah, that's right.
Masturbation, a handy guide, episode 129.
So it's like, well, I need to know what I want to do, right? Now, over the course of my time here during this quarantine, my self-isolation, and it didn't come to me exactly during this time. I've always kind of had this vision of what I would like to do. And I've mentioned many times before that I have no talent of my own that I excel in.
You often bring this up.
Yes, often, because my talent is finding the talent in others.
Right.
So that led me down this path of I want to go into talent recruitment, talent relations, something of that nature. But here in Timmins, Northern Ontario,
The land that culture forgot.
the land that culture forgot and where dreams go to die,
Yes.
there is literally nothing I could take up here for that. The next step would be maybe Toronto, but their COVID cronies are too much, and we can't go there.
No.
And then, of course, there's Los Angeles, but that's not an option either.
Why is Los Angeles not an option for you?
Borders are closed. It's really far away. It's probably really expensive among everything else that's happening in the world that we're not going to get into.
Fair enough.
So I had to make a decision as to how I would get to that plateau of what I want to do.
Okay, so you figured to be a talent acquirer, a director of people's destinies, you had to be a life coach first?
No.
Okay. Explain it to me as you would to a child.
Okay. So this is what happened. I was enjoying some of my magic smoke one weekend about a month ago. Mm-hmm. And I was watching some videos on YouTube. I can't remember exactly what it was. But we all know and we're all plagued by the ads that come up on YouTube. And every video you try to watch, there's an ad. But for some reason, this ad started playing, and I said, I'm going to watch this one. Something compelled me to watch it. And it was provided by CoachHeroes.com. So what happened was I watched the video. It basically broke down my barriers that I have my problems with when it comes to work.
Yes, because you don't enjoy working for other people.
I do not.
You have trouble with authority figures.
I very much do.
Okay.
I have a habit of asking questions, and I have logic and common sense, which makes me a terrible employee.
Aha.
So I've discovered, and I've figured it out. The prophecy has been fulfilled. I need to work for myself.
As it was written.
As it was written. So then I watched this ad, which basically cemented all these facts. I watched the thing, I clicked the link, and it told me to schedule a one-on-one interview with somebody from the organization. So that was on the Friday night. I signed up for the Sunday interview at 6:30 p.m. I sat down, and I had about maybe a 5 to 10 minute video chat with a recruiter from Coach Heroes.
Okay.
He broke it down for me. I said, that sounds great. He told me the price. I was hesitant at first, but I said, you know what? You can't not do it because it's a little pricey, and it's not the most expensive mistake that I've made in my life, so...
This is true.
You know, it's not investing in something stupid, it's not...
Bitcoin.
Yeah, exactly. And I figured, why not try it?
How bad of a decision could it be?
How bad of a decision could it be?
If somebody didn't come from the future to stop you from doing it, it can't be that bad of a decision.
Exactly.
You know what else is not a bad decision? Listening to other podcasts here on the ESO network.
Welcome to the Double Feature Picture Show. What do you want to see?
Well, I want to see something really good and something really bad.
Like maybe Total Recall and Junior?
Sure.
Or The Rocketeer and Country Bears?
Absolutely.
Maybe even Dogma and Yoga Hoses?
I mean, of course. Who programs such cinematic excellence and hot garbage together?
Why, only the Double-Edged Double Bill, my good man. Available on the ESO network and wherever you get podcasts.
Like that podcast promo that I just played?
Yeah, incredible.
Yes. So anyway, back to your story.
Back to my story.
You had this 5 to 10 minute talk with the dude.
Yeah, with the dude, and then I had to make the decision because in a week and a half's time, class was about to start.
And that's when you brought the idea up to me and Brother Curtis.
Yes.
And
I said, I'm hemming and I'm hawing on this. I don't know if I should. Should I? Should I not? I don't know. And basically I was shot down right from the get-go saying, no, you shouldn't.
See, my problem was not the fact that you wanted to be a life coach or you thought this was a great idea. My problem was the price and the fact that I'd never heard of Coach Heroes and it didn't seem to be affiliated with any legitimate organization or university.
Right.
So I was concerned with you spending all kinds of money on something that you were going to get screwed over on.
Well, of course, I had that mentality as well. But at the same time,
you have poor impulse control and you do it anyway.
Exactly. You can tell me not to do something and I'm going to go do it. Because
Yes.
if I have to follow what I feel is right, you know? And that's how you can't live in fear. Here's your comfort zone. And life happens outside the comfort zone.
Indeed.
So in order to get ahead in life or to make anything, you need to take risks.
That's true.
You can't just live in a perfect bubble and just
Risk.
Risk
is our business.
Yes, and sometimes the risk is worth the reward. Now, I'm happy to say, at this point, we are 3 weeks into the course. It's a 12-week course.
I thought it was 10.
12.
It's a 12-week course.
It's a 12-week course, 2 hours.
Once a week.
Once a week.
Okay.
Every Thursday night.
And you've done
And
three.
I've done 3 classes so far.
And what have you learned so far? How do you feel about this? Like we actually, just before we recorded, you had to do homework.
Yes.
Every week you have homework.
Yeah,
And this
an
week,
assignment or whatever,
something. So this week it was a practice life coaching session.
Not so much a full session, but it was more of it was questions to identify values.
Right, and we just did that.
And we just did that. And now I got to type that up and send it off to the coach or to the trainer. And last week's assignment, I filled that out and I sent it off and he responded back with a well done.
Ooh.
And that made me feel good.
Because if there's one thing you like, it's an attaboy.
I do like an attaboy. An attaboy is, it's a good feeling. If you get, told that you did a good job on something, it makes you feel good, makes you feel proud, and makes you want to continue.
I get that.
Mm-hmm. So going down this rabbit hole, doing this course, it's helping myself as well.
Self-esteem wise?
I think so.
Okay.
Self-esteem wise, change the mindset around, a little bit more positivity. Now, sure, my life has been somewhat of a disaster.
That's the one thing that I think Curtis brought up. He said, if you don't have your life together, how the hell are you going to coach somebody else on their life?
Yeah, but here's the thing about that. You don't need to have the perfect life in order to help someone else.
Explain.
Well, now what a coach does, it basically, it's not, you're not a therapist, you're not this and that. Basically, you just want to give somebody a little bit more of a clearer vision, I guess.
So like you're holding up a mirror to reality?
Yeah. You're helping them figure out what they want and how to go about doing it.
Mm.
Now, I know what I want to do.
Yeah.
That's why this, in part, is helping me get there.
How?
Like I said, I want to go into talent relations and all that in this. Through this, if I can help people find what they are good at or what they want to do or et cetera, there's all sorts of different coaching subjects. Like you could do relationships, family, you could do career, you could do this, that. There's so many options. There's so many variables, right? So you're not just one thing. The one thing that I did really like about it is you can set your own hours, set your own schedule, and you can work from home.
Yes. And if there's one thing you like doing, it's doing things on your own schedule.
Yes.
So you don't want to work a job that's 8 to 4 or
No.
9 to 5.
No.
You want to work when Robin wants to work.
Exactly.
Okay.
And Robin works best when he gets up at like 10 a.m.
Right.
Not 7, not 6.
Uh-huh.
No.
And that's actually the other thing, because ever since you started this life coach thing, my timeline has been absolutely filled with life coach this, life coach that. And there's been like, I don't know how many, at least 24 different places offering life coach things, all kinds of different prices. What you told me is that the cheaper ones are self-directed
Yes.
and you have no motivation. So
I'm remotivating myself through this process.
right, but you have challenges.
But I do have challenges. And you said, and you agreed with me. And this is where other brother had the problem. He sent me the links, and I could order my own self-coaching program or coach whatever, and I could read these books on my own and, order them and do it all on my own.
And you would never get around to it.
And I would never get around to it.
But because you have to be there for 2 hours every Thursday night,
Yes.
like a deadline, like a schedule to keep,
Yes.
through the authority figure of the life coach sessions, you're like, okay, I'm going to go there.
I know. Yeah, exactly. I know what my schedule is. I know I have to be there for 8 o'clock Thursday night.
Right.
I know I have to be a part of this class for 2 hours.
And your homework has to be done beforehand.
Yeah, and my homework has to be sent in 24 hours before the next class.
Right.
So now I have a schedule, I have a deadline, I can focus on that. Whereas if I just got a whole bunch of books
And self-directed
and
yourself.
self-directed myself, I'd never get around to it.
I'll do it tomorrow, I don't feel like
Yeah,
it.
exactly. Oh, I don't want to read today. I'll do it tomorrow. No, it doesn't work that way.
And you're right, I did agree with you, because I'm the same way. If I don't have a deadline, if I don't have like a schedule to keep, I'm not going to do it.
Exactly. So, I mean, granted, that's something I need to work on for myself, I guess. But look at that. I learned that. I learned that about myself.
Now, you told me that your bosses at the life coaching place, not the bosses, but whoever they are, said that you should seek out a life coach of your own and do a practice thing or
Right.
something. Did you do that?
Not yet.
When does that do?
It's not. It was a suggestion.
Oh, okay, so you don't have to.
I don't have to.
Because I know Curtis said to do that as
Brother
well.
Curtis, told me to do that before I had even signed up. And he's like, well, why don't you take a coaching class to see if that's what you really want to do? And I'm like, what am I going to ask him? I'm thinking of taking a coaching class, and what do you think? Like, no. So, but then during the training, I believe that was class 2, it was suggested that we do get one to try it out and see how
it goes.
And
how they operate and all the ins and outs and nitty gritty.
Yeah.
And so in these 3 courses that you've taken so far, what do you do?
Well,
Is it like, you said it like a Zoom call?
kind of. Yeah, you can only see the trainer.
Right.
It's a full class, supposedly, because everyone's gets to type questions or whatever, and he answers.
And you can see how many people are in class?
No.
Oh, okay.
Can't see how many, but there's usually a good amount. And he has a whole lot of classes during the week, he tells us. So, I mean, I don't know. But basically, he comes up on the screen, he chats, he does the introduction, and then on the screen he brings up the slides as to what we're going through for that week. So then we go through it together, and then after an hour we take a few minutes to stretch and whatever, and then we go back and continue.
And it doesn't feel like a scam?
No.
Oh, that's good.
No. This actually feels
legitimate.
I looked up the website, obviously, coachheroes.com. It's a thing. It's legit. It's up there. It's out there. There was nothing I ever read about this is a scam. Now, the links that you were sharing to me very well could have been.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But this one actually feels legit. It feels good. It feels like I'm on a good path. I feel like things are aligning for me.
Okay.
I'm sure our listeners can hear the difference in my voice compared to how I have been before.
Yeah, it sounded like you were in the doldrums before.
Yeah.
Very, very depressed. But this is actually something you've been excited about. And I haven't seen you excited about anything like this in a while. So it is a good change. It's only been 3 episodes, but we'll see.
Yeah.
You got 9 more to go.
9 more to go. And upon completion, I will be a certified life coach, whether I can work through Coach Heroes or I could work on my own.
Right.
I will have that option. I already know, off the hop, it's not going to be something...
You won't be making thousands of dollars?
No, because you have to build your clientele, right?
Right.
Now, like I was saying earlier, I'm sure a lot of people, when I say I'm going to have this idea or I'm going to do something, they just shut it down right away.
Of course.
Which, okay, that's great. You can shut me down right off the hop, but I can vision everything that's going to happen.
You can.
Yes.
Okay.
And I am going to go, when I get back to the Sioux, I'm starting my own business, my own production suite on top of that, and it kind of all works around itself.
I see. Okay.
I have a plan, I have an idea. Now it's time to do it.
Aha. Well, it's about time, I guess.
Yeah.
So that's good. You're excited. You got motivation.
That's right.
You can see it clearly in your head what's going to happen. So that's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome.
And that's the positive outlook that we need.
Right. So maybe in a year or so from now, we'll revisit this topic and see what's happened.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you want to share?
No, not a whole lot. I mean, it's just, it is what it is. I've taken this time that I've been here to kind of focus on what I want to do, what I need to do, what I want. It's been difficult. It's been a difficult journey, not going to lie. It sucked.
Yeah, you haven't had the best time this last year and a half.
No, I haven't.
No. You just quit your taxi job.
I did
the other day because you said
had enough.
That's enough of this crap.
That's enough of this. I had one request, and they couldn't give me the one request that I asked. So that
was it.
And that was it.
And within the month, you'll be back home.
Yeah.
In the Sioux.
That's right.
And that's it.
I don't know how that's going to work out. I'm hoping it works out well. I'm like I said, I've got a positive mindset here, and things are looking up. Things are shaping to be fantastic.
You're molding the clay of your life into reality.
That's right.
Okay.
Because we are the directors of the movie of our lives.
Oh, I like that. We sound very highfalutin and
like we know what we're talking about.
Almost.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah, almost.
That's true. Hey, so before we go,
yeah,
totally unrelated, I was listening to the A Play on Nerds podcast today, and they had some very nice things to say at the end of their show about all of my shows.
Oh, good.
And also one of Dan's shows. So I'm going to play that right after the end credits.
Okay.
I just wanted to let our listeners know. But thanks for sharing your life coaching experience thus far with our listeners and with me.
You're welcome.
Listeners, one of these days you'll have to, what would you call it? Engage Robin's services for life coaching. And that could be an episode as well.
That could be.
It's very exciting.
Very.
But until next time, don't forget to visit soulforgepodcast.com for all of our social media links. Take care of yourselves and each other. And remember, it's life. You don't figure it out. You just climb up on the beast and ride. Thank you for listening to another episode of the Soul Forge Podcast. Your support is greatly appreciated, and we hope you'll tune in again next time. Remember that you can visit soulforgepodcast.com for all of our social media links. And don't forget to share the show with everyone you know. The Soul Forge Podcast is your best source for living your best life.
Think about it.
Well, first of all, before we go, we want to shout out to some people who are doing some awesome things out in the podcasting land. I am just very sad that I don't ever get the time or find the time to make MP3s to send into these shows I listen to so much, and that they come and Steve and I both listen to.
So, Shawn, feel free to steal the sound from this episode.
Yes.
And use it for your episode as like our endorsement.
Not because we're lazy, but because we're overworked.
I'm lazy.
So first, Shawn Vanderloo, who has his 300th episode of the Rusted Robot Podcast. That's right, the Rusted Robot Podcast had 300 episodes.
What started as a simple podcast where every week they were going to talk about different robots and science fiction has blossomed into a show about everything.
Everything sci-fi and science and crazy
like
stuff.
A show about the Zodiac, I think.
Yeah. But look at that. It's funny because we started our shows around the same time, and we have 136 and he has 300. Yeah. Although we did branch off eventually. But
he only has 3 shows. Okay, never mind.
He had like 4 too with the Sci-Fi Waffle and everything too. But then his other podcast, The Soul Forge, has reached its 3-year anniversary, another big milestone. And that's a lot of those episodes were just him talking about a topic by himself for like a half an hour. Then he started getting lots of guests.
Life stuff, and there's a great 2 or 3-parter about falling in love and sleeping with a lesbian.
Yeah, you gotta check that
really
out.
Like, that's the one I always recommend to people, is that set, because they're just such a good story.
It's so interesting, and it kind of helped inspire us to do the Sappy Crap podcast a little bit, kind of getting more personal, talk about our backstories and our life and that kind of thing.
Well, we just don't get to BS enough, so it just gives us an excuse.
Very much so. And now on the Rusted Robot Podcast, they have Shawn and Josh and Kitty as co-hosts. Sometimes his brother Robin comes on, so it's changed a lot over the years, but it's really great. And Soul Forge has random guests come on. I've been a guest on there. Steve, you've been a guest on there, I believe.
We talked about moving.
That's right. Soul Forge, check that out. And now our other friend of the show, Daniel Peter Hitch, author and now podcaster, does the Temporal Trek podcast, which is also amazing. And it's covering Star Trek in the strangest way, going chronologically through the entire show, not when they were released, but chronologically by what events happened in the show. So he goes from the Big Bang all the way up to the future, clip by clip, not episode by episode. It's insane. please check it out. I've guested on one show, and Steve, I hear you're going to be on soon.
Yeah, I record this coming week. Yeah.
And what are you going to be covering on your show?
We're going to be talking about First Contact, which has some great time travel stuff, and is probably my favorite or second favorite of the Star Trek films.
Yeah, and we covered it on a previous episode of the Play on Nerd. So there you go.
Yeah.
And then both of those guys, Shawn and Daniel Peter Hitch, and longtime friend of the show as well, Paul Wright, have started the Cosmic Pizza podcast. So please check that out. It's a lot of fun. They go really in depth, and they're going to be talking to experts in their fields, authors, comedians, scientists, and they even talk to me. I've already guessed on an episode that'll be coming out soon, talking about voiceovers and voice acting. But please forgive me on that episode because my house was flooding that day. And so I barely made it to the podcast. I was like 45 minutes late to the recording. So I apologize to them, but I was all flustered for the recording. So I apologize in advance. But please check out Cosmic Pizza Podcast. It's really cool and really in depth. And Paul does a great job adding in sound effects and music and that kind of thing to that too. So check it out. So that about does it.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Join us next time for episode 137, where, I don't know, maybe we'll do a holiday episode or something. I don't know.
Yeah, and if not, check out Muppet Trek, Real Opposition, and Sappy Crap in the meantime.
Which we'll be having coming out regularly. We're basically releasing something every Friday now.
Something, yes, exactly.
Something, but it'll be one of the three. It'll be a grab bag, and you'll always be interested to know what it is.
This has been a broadcast of the ESO Network. Be part of the crew and help support our shows by donating to our ESO Patreon or by shopping through Amazon.com or the TeePublic store, which can all be found at www.esonetwork.com. The ESO Network, your station for all things geek.